God, chat, that we're here. It's another episode. Hey guys, welcome to the Reset Button. This is going to be episode 52, the explosive summer. We got a lot to talk about with summer games that happened here. We've got plenty of other stuff that we could talk about besides that. Rumors going on throughout the industry. We've got ups, we've got downs, we've got meltdowns. Everything you could ask for tonight, including... I may have just almost gotten canceled. Good thing I didn't tweet that.
Wait, what did I tweet?
I was trying to tweet, twitch.tv, come watch us. So it was almost Twatch. I don't know what Twatch is, and I don't want to find out.
I was gonna say, maybe did you spell a word wrong?
I don't want to know what that is.
That was my question.
Let's see, open in incognito mode. I'll find it.
Oh no.
So funny.
Prepare the eye bleach.
My eyes.
But hey guys, thanks so much for coming here. You know the three of us. I, of course, the guy who's co-started this thing about a decade ago at this point, Reset Patrick. We'll bring Tanner back at some point. But until then, I'm the only original co-host that's still here. But man, if I got a crew. I brought Liz. Say hi, Liz.
I miss you guys. I'm here. I'm alive.
She's
Yay.
back. And of course, we got
Many
John.
adventures.
I've always been here. I think I've missed like 2 episodes.
I think so.
Something like that.
I know there was one where I think it was the Game Awards that Liz and I were talking about, because we were talking about the Wukong guys like freaking out. And Liz called them pussies.
Oh, I think that was free. I think that was free on the PlayStation Plus thing.
Cool, I'm not playing it. Fuck them.
Is that free?
I mean that 100%.
I've been so out of touch with the PlayStation Plus thing. I don't even know what's free this month. And I didn't see any.
Oh, I just
tweets or
redeem
anything.
everything. Even if I don't think I'll play
yeah.
it, like, what if in like 3 years it's like, oh, let's play this silly random game that I probably would never play under normal conditions, but we have it. We don't have to spend money, and it was free. Well, I paid for it with my subscription.
I mean, that's true.
You get what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't take that much to just grab it really quick. And chances are, you'll probably try it at least once, unless it's FIFA. I'm not going to try FIFA. I'm not going to try FIFA.
I mean, honestly, redeem it, because you'll never know when you need it. You're already paying for it. It's silly to turn down what's already paid for. So.
Yeah, I mean, if it's there, I'll take it. Like,
yeah.
Do you know how many games I've gotten off of Games for Gold that I have never touched?
Oh, God.
Mainly because of the last year of existence, we were just getting like the crappiest titles.
Like,
I mean, they
bottom barrel
good, but
sludge.
like, yeah, they're just like, I got there.
Yeah, they were giving.
Okay,
like,
it
some
doesn't
of the
stand out. That's
garbage.
the thing.
Yeah.
Like, not to dunk on Wukong, it's probably a solid game. Okay, it got award nominees, whatever. It's recognized for a reason, but it doesn't seem exciting.
Not to cut you off, it's not Wukong that's on PlayStation Plus. It's Wu Chang.
Oh,
Wu Chang Fallen Feathers.
Nice.
We don't even know what it's fucking called.
I don't. Who knows?
I'm gonna pick out a quick trailer.
Hey,
I just want to see.
Oh my God.
We tried.
We made an attempt, guys. I'm sorry. But no, I mean, Wukong. And now we have to talk about Wukong because we're just fucking here. But it won awards. It just didn't win the one award they thought they deserved the most. And then they went fucking ape shit on social and went, man, we didn't get it.
I like literally don't anyone talks about that game. Like, no one thinks about it.
Not anymore.
Never.
It's over now.
I looked at the Wu Chang trailer. It looks exactly like it's a Soulsborne. Who would have thought it?
I can play Sekiro. Let's move on.
Yeah, it's faster.
I did watch a pretty good video about Sekiro and how it's kind of like the black sheep game of all the Souls stuff. It felt very poetic, and it made me want to play the game. it made me want to play it. Not that I didn't want to play it, but the desire has been fueled since watching that YouTube essay. A lot about hitboxes. It's
Oh
very
my
different than the
God.
other ones.
Yes,
So
yes, it is.
I know way too much. I know way too much that I never would have thought of.
Like, holy fuck! If it's a gotta get good thing with Sekiro, I could never get good. I sucked all the time because, yeah, like you said, it's
I think
so
the enemies have
different
a
from all
way
the other ones.
wider range to hit you, whereas your range of hitting is like smaller. So they can.
Plus, they have different ways.
It's a little unbalanced.
They can do
Mhm.
vertical slashes, horizontal slashes, different things like that, and you're just supposed to know what each one does through, like, various signs and signatures before they do it. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm old. Sorry, I can't remember all that shit unless I'm
You're just
really
not
digging
cut
into
out.
it. I'm not a
You're just
gamer.
not cut out for it anymore.
Fuck.
You're just getting
Yeah.
your reaction responses. You're getting old. Leave it to the kids.
Now, I'll
Kids
admit
game.
it. That is true to a point. I'm going to admit it right here, right now. I'm throwing myself under the bus because trying to play Street Fighter and like getting like some of the combos and whatnot that they have you do through the trials, I'm obviously not fast enough. I'm not hitting it right, and I just sat back and said, I think I'm getting fucking old. Like, my response time is bad.
There's a couple of things. I actually did read a study. I like reading news articles when I'm bored at work on my suggested Mozilla Firefox tabs. Don't tell work. So I read an article about aging and video games, and literally just like the thrill factor and your reaction time does like decrease as you age. Unless you continue training, of course, you can always like build back up. But there's like the inherent desire to play non-competitive as you age. So it is kind of like and this is not a blanket statement, but it is kind of the young person's game when it comes to competition and the desire to practice and play those things. Plus, not even considered from what I recall in the study, as you get older, you have more responsibilities like families and like working full time. So there's that other factor on top of like the innate reaction time and desire to play competitive or play higher intense games. There's like associations. Yeah. Something like that.
Holy fuck. I feel like, did they follow me around when they were writing this study? Because I feel like all of that was aimed at me. It was all aimed at me.
No, but it's like legitimate. It's not that you can't do or practice competitive or high intense games, but like the drive is just considerably lower. So that's coming from the person who has been playing their Switch 2 near daily just to play Animal Crossing. My town is coming along quite lovely as I do a major rehaul, so it is getting done. I'm past my slump of just doing dailies. I'm actually like doing things. It's kind of exciting.
Well, for me, like, rewind 15 years ago, and I was playing Mortal Kombat was a big thing for me. I mean, I still love the series now, but I'm not going to try and play it online. I'm not going to try and be competitive or learn strings or anything. I'm over that. No thanks. But it was that and a shit ton of Halo. And now today, like, I still like Halo and I still like Mortal Kombat, but I don't know. I don't really have a desire to boot them up.
And also, too, I think the changing. We kind of discussed this. Sorry, give me 2 seconds. We already discussed this a little bit with the changing landscape of playing games multiplayer or competitively, and the whole internet factor and DLC and games being not complete and having updates. It's different, like playing back in an arcade where everything was static and the same all the time, versus games that literally get rebalanced and changed and paywalls. So, okay, Johnny, speak your truth.
Speak your truth.
Like, I don't. That's kind of what my mentality is like. I'll occasionally boot up just for fun. Like, I got into that mentality probably sooner than most people because, like, during COVID, like Melanie and I picked Fortnite back up, and I told herself, I said, we're not gonna be like super mad if we lose. Like, again, just in your mind, it's just a game.
Just have fun.
Once that goes into my mentality, goes to my brain. Like, we just had fun. If we were getting too stressed out over losses, like, let's go make our own fun. Let's just go hop in a 4-wheeler. Let's go, hit some jumps. Let's try to do something goofy. There's the no dancing
I was
emote
like,
sign. Do that. Oh god, it hit me. Oh no, you know what I mean? Like, just make your own
it's
fun.
literally like the most healthy mentality. What you just described should be how video gaming
Yeah.
is.
And if I
Literally,
ever
just have
find
fun.
that happens, I'm like, nope, I am turning this off. I am going away.
Oh my
I did that
god.
with Halo. I did that with
You literally
Street
just hit it on the
Fighter,
head.
Mortal Kombat. I'm like, if I'm playing online against people and I'm like, okay, I'm getting my ass kicked, just walk away before you get mad and call it.
Johnny, you unlocked an
Yeah,
amazing
unless you're
memory.
having fun getting your ass whipped. Like, what if you were like
If
having a
it's-
legitimately good close games or good competition or people that
Oh.
were clearly ranked or better than you, and you had that's also a good time if you're
Oh yeah.
honing your skill against better opponents, you know. Not always
let's
rage
say,
bait.
like, let's say, like, for example, if I'm playing like Third Strike and I'm just getting like someone picks Oro and he's just hitting that combo, you know which one I'm talking about. Where he's
Oh,
where
it's
just
stupid.
like
Yeah.
juggle, get you in the corner, bang,
Just
bang,
bullshit
bang,
spamming.
bang.
Yeah.
The Chad James special, right? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not gonna do it. Like, if you're just gonna spam the same thing over, yeah, I'm gonna try and find someone else there that, you know, at least tries to mix it up. At least tries.
That's
to do
not a
something
good
different than
opponent.
Yeah,
It's just not
you
fun
hear
when
that,
it's
Chad
like
James?
that.
You're a bad opponent.
Well, because it's
Let's say
just like I to piggyback off that, I watched a video. I think it was Street Fighter versus X-Men, like that old fighter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was Justin Wong's video, and apparently Storm has an infinite that you can trap people in. And like once you get it going, if you know how to keep the juggle, like it's a one-touch death. Okay. Why? That's no fun.
Yeah. And again, it's also not fun to go against the computer. Have you ever seen one of those how Street Fighter 2 cheats?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like basically your sweeps do nothing. Computer can recover within like 2 frames. There's no charge up for Guile's move, so he can just hit somersault kicks on you as much as you want.
Right.
Pow,
From
pow, pow.
recovery too. As like "Ugh." But then again, you forget that arcade games were made to suck your cores. It was
Yeah.
not about being fair and balanced. It was just like, okay, what can I do
Manipulate
when
the
you get to
customer
this
into
sort of thing?
spending more money.
Exactly.
I mean, I
There's
get
that famous line. Have any of you guys watched Wayne's World?
mind blown.
It's
Oh, not in
been a while.
forever.
It's been a while.
Well,
Years.
Wayne's World, they have that guy that funds the show. He runs the Noah's Arcade, and he talks about it quickly. A game that is like, oh, you go to you fight gelatinous cubes, but every time you beat a chieftain, you ascend to a higher level. And he's just like, oh, but beauty part is you can't get to the next level, so the kids keep coughing up quarters. It's like. That's what every arcade person do. That's why when you try to play Mortal Kombat 2 legit, as soon as you get to the third opponent, it's like,
Oh,
nope, we're just
yeah.
gonna read your input.
Oh, you're fucked.
Legitimately read your inputs. It's like, oh, you hit block. All right, immediately I'm gonna do something to counter that. Like they cheat. they cheat.
Yeah, it'll
Bullshit,
just
man.
it'll destroy you. It's not a skill thing. Like it's just not.
It's cheating.
It just straight up reads your inputs and fucks you over. That's just the way it's going to operate. But you, Johnny, unlocked a memory for me that I thought was still pretty funny when I was running with a crew in Fortnite, because I don't take it seriously at all. To me, that game is silly and should be played in the silliest way possible. Do you remember those balloons that you could inflate and start floating around?
Yep.
So I have the Dragostar emote where you sit in the chair and do my he, my ha, etc., etc. So I started that. Then I put a bunch of the balloons on my character and would just start floating around all the people that were running in. And it was the funniest fucking thing. But that
When
was
you said
my fun.
You said, I thought you said when there was core memory, I thought you were going to talk about the time that Robe, first time playing Fortnite in forever, like jumped off the, that was after the invasion.
That was also a good one.
He jumped off the UFO and it went, it was like, oh, there's fall damage.
There's fall damage.
You walk up to him, you're like, hey,
Yes.
Robe, welcome to Fortnite, and started doing the weekend on
Speaking
him.
of Robe, when is he coming back as our fourth chair? It'd be lovely to have him again.
When he stops making it so fucking hot in West Virginia. That jerk.
Well,
Someone to go tell him.
change
Someone
the
quit this
weather.
and go tell him.
Yeah.
Quip it.
So it's like, hey,
everyone do a disappointing frown and cross your arms like you're really upset.
yeah, stop making it hot in Ohio. You can come to the podcast and wrestle.
Those are our terms.
Transfer some of that heat to Canada instead. Come on.
No, we don't need any of that. It's like plus 30 over here.
No,
now.
you take our heat. Hey. It reads like 110 degrees when I get my car every day, and I don't have air conditioning.
Oof.
Okay.
No, there's no fucking way I'd be in Florida right now. Just no.
Oh my gosh, hold on. Can I sidebar?
Yes.
Okay, so
How many
I
of your
was
games have
gone.
melted?
Nothing's melted. Just my soul.
Oh.
So in May I went to Chicago for Anime Central because that's my hometown con. I have not missed it once in like 15 or 16 years, however many years, minus like the COVID gap, right? Then I went to Los Angeles the week after. I am a changed person. I'm California pilled. Okay. The weather, I thought it was gonna be hot as shit because you think, oh, it might be hot. No, it was like perfectly like 75 degrees, nice and sunny, not super humid, not super dry. I could wear a light little sweatshirt or cover up at night and be like perfect. Oh my God. You guys, California is amazing. I haven't been since I was like a teenager on a vacation. So, but yeah. So I went to Darkness Emergent, and that was really fun. That was the Vampire the Masquerade like official canon LARP that happens.
Ooh.
And it was okay. Can I like tell you guys? I never thought in my life I'd ever LARP for one thing. Two things. It's not boff or LARP. We're not hitting each other with sticks. I love it. I don't want to hit people, actually. Three, I have never been to an event. Like, it was an event where literally everyone cosplayed. It's not even like doing cosplay like you think, like everyone dressed up. Everyone was so on point being a character. There was not one person who like kind of like fucked off and sat to the side being out of character or like just kind of just like being there and doing nothing. And there's nothing wrong with people who I would call like bench warmers at LARP, where they're just there to kind of hang out, that's fine. We're all having fun, right? But like legitimately like a room with like 400 people who are all super engaged being fucking characters. And then they had NPC characters and storytellers and stuff that like there was a bunch of storytellers like coordinating this plot and like accelerating things and doing tests and stuff. And like the hired actors were so real. Like I can't even tell you. It was like a combination of like this is nerd shit like, it's obviously from tabletop transferred to like real life interaction. To everyone, literally hundreds of people convincingly dressed up and pretending to be motherfucking vampires. Okay, with like so convincing. And the cooperation and antagonism of everyone like working to help each other or like fuck over people was phenomenal. And people didn't get salty or weird. Like the actual like physical combat, social combat is different, but like the physical combat was limited. People aren't like offing and dying at constant, and like the professional actors were like oh my God, the voice actor of Shepard, that guy played a Nosferatu vampire. A Nosferatu, that type of vampire, is known for being hideous and like ugly. Like if humans saw it, they would keel over and freak out. He played a Nosferatu with full face prosthetics and masks, and like walked around sipping wine through his mask and having conversations. And it was Commander Shepard, no joke. And then Erika Ishii was there playing a character from the big like tabletop LA by Night, and she was adorable and amazing and fantastic. All these crazy actors like were playing the big major NPC characters, and they were so convincing and so real, on top of the attendees being like real. It was, oh my God, you guys, life-changing. Phenomenal.
So you fucked
it was
me
expensive,
up
but amazing.
You fucked me up for just a moment when you said Shepard. And I was like, wait, Jennifer Hale was there? And then you said
No,
he.
the guy.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
No, the male
No.
shepherd.
Yeah.
I forgot his name off the top of my head. You guys, it was insane. The professional, like these people, like a lot of the actors work in video games and other like Hollywood stuff, obviously, because it was in Los Angeles. But like, holy shit, it was like I'm sold. I'm sold. So fantastic event. I just had to get that out there, but it was insane. That's me shaking my desk. Okay.
I mean, California is where all the badass shit happens, but it's just, I don't know. Given if I had the money, I wouldn't mind going to some stuff there. But no way in fucking hell am I living there.
Yeah, way too expensive.
Could afford the cost of living. But here's the thing: a lot of everyday shit costs the same price as where I live in Florida. And I'm like, oh, I live in a tourist trap. If California felt cheap for a lot of basic shit, like in stores and food and restaurants, where I'm like, this feels like no different than where I live. There's something screwed up with where I live, is what I'm telling you.
Couldn't deal with like the major traffic jams and everything they seem to have on a daily basis.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Like
I wasn't driving, but I don't like driving in general, so I'm gonna complain no matter what. But anyway, yeah.
But the guy who did Indie Game Searchlight, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that series or anything, Mark.
I've heard of it.
So Mark, after interning at Screw Attack, went and he did video editing for The Completionist, and he was in California for a good while. And like he said that, you know, it's a real life-changing area because he comes from the same area as you, Liz. He came from the Chicago area. So he seemed to really like it, but he was like, in order to live there, you have to have multiple roommates. There's a traffic jam that's going to eat most of your day every single day.
Yeah, it's the cost of real estate is. Even before I went to LA, when I was thinking like, during COVID, where I was thinking about moving out of the area a couple of years in, and I looked at the cost of housing, and like a house like less than 2,000 square feet, which is like a pretty decently sized, pretty, I'd say like middle class, upper middle class size home, easily at that 2,000 square foot mark or less, and those houses go for like $2 million.
Fuck.
Like, do you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I have a threshold in my brain of, if I have $2 million cash, I can move and get a house or pay for it or have a small mortgage. Like, so that's my bar. And that was from a few years ago, and it could have changed since. So
my God.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, my house is between like 1,400 and 1,600 square feet, and I got it for under 100K. So,
that's beautiful.
I mean, it's West Virginia, though. Like, guys,
okay,
everybody watching or listening,
okay.
Do you really want to be here? No, you don't. But
I literally live
cheap.
Minus hurricanes. I literally live in a paradise, and there's like the water and the beach is right there, kind of thing. It's a little different. I understand.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
water's on fire here.
Okay, but. Okay, but you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes.
You got me thinking of that Cleveland Town video now.
I mean, yeah, there's places where we've had like natural gas leaks and the fucking water is able to be caught on fire. It's crazy here. Everything is completely insane. We've got goddamn Mothman. It's nuts here. But cheap housing.
Hey, I've got the swamps and all the scary things that come with the swamps. Okay, it's like Jurassic motherfucking Park.
Got the
here.
fucking Wyatt family coming out of that place.
Okay, anyway, Los Angeles was phenomenal, is what I'm telling you.
And I've got the perfect transition with Los Angeles because there was an event that used to be held there regarding video games, and then it died. So now we get this every friggin' summer now. It's the Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, it's the companies doing their own thing instead of, being on stage and boring you to tears.
But everybody comes and gives Jeff Keighley a back rub.
there's some magic that is lost without E3, but there's also a lot of cringe that I'm glad is gone from E3 not existing anymore. Like the long pauses in between developers talking to other developers
Awkward.
about how the PlayStation 5 can help power your dreams and make them reality. Like, I'm so happy that Nintendo created the direct format because it's way
just
more concise, way
pre-recorded. Let's
easier.
go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And
We're
there's,
not
like,
live.
yeah, there's like so like little cause for or there's a low chance of something bad happening. We all remember the Battlefield demo not running, the Uncharted 4 demo not running, and them having to restart it.
The giant crab.
It's awkward.
The giant enemy crab. All of the Kinect. The Wii music.
Just Dance
my
every
God.
year. I nominate Just Dance every year for like worst presentation. I hated it.
Look, just the fuck ups.
I hated it so much.
At the Ubisoft one, where it's like, oh yeah,
We know Just Dance works, but it's got stage
Well,
fright.
Every time they came out there and it was the fucking dancing bear, weird shit. It was especially egregious one year because they were acknowledging someone had passed. Someone had died, unfortunately. But they come out, dancing away, dancing bear, all that bullshit, and then they stop and they're like, we want to take a moment of silence for whoever passed. And I'm like, what the fuck am I watching?
They should put some prayer beads and like the promotional materials that they handed out.
Can I take a wild guess as to who they were acknowledging passed away? Was it Iwata? Because I feel like everybody did that.
I mean, possibly. And you know what? I'm one of those people who I love Nintendo today, so I'm not someone that is dooming Nintendo because Iwata passed. Don't believe that I'm one of those people, guys. But I do think that Nintendo was a lot more, shall we say, customer friendly when he was around, because he wanted to legitimately know what you thought about the product. That's why he asked, what do you think? He wanted to know what other gamers thought of the product. So yeah, I mourned it pretty big. But if I was going to have something where I mourned his death, I would not start it with a dance routine and a guy in a bear costume. I'd skip that part if it were me. I mean, just my thought.
It's a little too much. It's a little too much.
No, I just see in the Twitch chat here, Wordman said the Halo 2 trailer. Do you mean the Halo 3 trailer reveal? Because that's a different can of worms. That's G4 airing the Xbox event. And while the trailer was playing, the producer was like, we got to cut the commercial. And Sessler's on the side going, we're playing the Halo trailer. No. He's like, we have to. No, we're playing the trailer. No, God. And then cut the commercial. And when they cut back, like, all right, we're going to have to play the trailer again because we had to go to commercial.
That's so
This
funny.
is also why it's so great that it's not on network television anymore, because you don't have to deal with commercial breaks. Although I will give Spike TV the benefit of the doubt. There was one year that they aired the entire Xbox conference on E3 commercial free, like not a single ad break, and that was during Game Trailers TV
interruption
back in the day. No interruption. I think there was like a shitload of ads afterwards, but like there was no ads during the entire conference when it was live.
I do legitimately miss being a youth. I didn't have cable growing up, so I would go to like my best friends' houses because everyone had cable but me. And I just remember how much fun it was to be on their broadband internet, seeing all the E3 news, but also catching whatever we could live. That was really fun as a youth, like 20 something years ago. That was, I know like we're complaining about it being on TV, but the fact that like representation as a nerdy kid, there was shit on TV that was legit, was very exciting. So where do you guys want to start with our news? Where do we start?
I think it started off with Sony and the State of Play. Might as well go with them. So they kicked out. So here's the thing, folks. Like, we're always pressed for time for podcasts. We can't cover everything. So prior to us going live, I just kind of picked some of the cool stuff I thought that all of us would enjoy. Some of the bigger hits there. So for State of Play, they kicked it off with Insomniac's Wolverine showing off gameplay.
Oh, cool.
Which
it's a bloody
cool.
affair.
Oh my god, it looks so bloody, but
I mean,
it looks just
they make great
fantastic.
games. So
Yeah,
no
I'd say a
doubt
lot more
that game will
bloodier
be an award
than
winner.
I say a lot more bloodier than X-Men Origins Wolverine back in the day. My only gripe with this, and I hope they change it, is that I find that like say like you kill a few guys as Wolverine, he's just covered in blood. In that demo, it tend to disappear a little too quickly. Maybe keep it
Yeah.
on him a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's like you just sweated it
Let it
off.
stain, or at least have I hope they have settings in terms of like how much gore. You know what I mean? I feel like
Yeah,
do
because
it artistically and make it cool, but have an option because some people are like legitimately triggered or sensitive, or sometimes people want their kids to play like the superhero games, but it's for children. We're not going to put full on blood and gore, right?
Exactly, because
So,
I mean, I know the most recent representation of Wolverine in the Marvel films was Wolverine and Deadpool.
he's been
which
hardcore,
kids are not supposed to be watching that film. I get it. But
super adult. Oh, but
before
you know,
you-
kids are watching Deadpool.
they
That's,
Yeah.
you know.
I mean, shit, we've had
But I know
kids
what
in the
you're saying.
hotel that
Not
are watching
intended for children.
Deadpool. But sooner rather than later, X-Men is going to be showing up in MCU. We already know that. We already know Cyclops is going to be in the next one. So the X-Men are coming.
And Magneto.
Yep.
Sorry, Magneto, Professor X, and
Magneto.
Mystique, because like they had that whole cast reveal. So we don't. Rebecca Romijn, is in. I almost said Stamos. I was like, not maybe John Stamos anymore. What am I talking about?
So
yeah, we know they're
showing up
coming for
soon.
sure.
And
Yeah.
I think kids will be interested in playing the game. So if you could have like a kid-friendly version that the parents could turn on. Now, of course, I think it should still ship exactly as we saw it. It's up to the parents to be the ones to turn it off and put like the kid-friendly option on if that's what they want to do.
But
So
then again, if they don't want them to play Wolverine, Wolverine will be in another game in a couple months. Marvel Tokon.
ooh,
They showed off the Doom team. So obviously Dr. Doom,
cool.
who's been in the trailers or has been in the betas and all that. But they also announced Magneto, Green Goblin, and Carnage to be part of his team and part of the roster. So we've only got one team left, which would be Ghost Rider's team. So no idea who it could possibly be in that team, but we'll probably find out at Evo. Evo will probably be where they announce the final team.
Have the big reveal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's not making Evo. Like they'll probably have another playable build at that Evo this year, but they're not going to have like a full tournament for it yet. It's probably
Like,
going to be next year.
let me ask this
It's probably
question.
too fresh.
Let me ask this question because I haven't paid like an enormous amount of attention to how they're doing the teams and whatnot with this. But is it always like characters that would align with one another, or can they be enemies?
Oh no, they could be like these are just, I think, like in the realm of story.
Okay.
These are like the preferred teams that you should have because
Gotcha.
their supers line up better for better combos and stuff. But you can build your own team. Like if you want Cap and Spidey to be on the same team, go for it. But if you
Gotcha.
want, a team of X-Men, you've got Wolverine, Storm, Magic, and I can't remember the last one that's in
I
there.
can't.
But
I can't, in good faith, guess the entire team for Ghost Rider, but I would say it's a safe bet that either Blackheart or Mephisto are showing up. One of the two.
yeah, or Dormammu.
For Ghost Rider, you think so?
Yeah. Yeah, it's another demon, and you haven't seen him since
That's
Ultimate
names now.
Well, I mean,
NBC
that's
3.
more of a Doctor Strange thing, but I mean, you could be right.
It'd be strange in there too.
Yeah,
He's not already in there.
why not?
I don't. I've been had the loop. I'm just trying to keep an eye on stuff there, but but yeah. So there's Marvel. Now the one trailer that I think the only one that was my wife got super excited for, obviously, Tomb Raider. Legacy
course.
Atlantis. They show more
I
of that.
knew it.
It looks pretty
saw.
sweet. Yeah. Remake of a remake of a remake, but she's stoked as hell and ready to get that pre-order.
Is it like a few or is it just one? I can't remember if it's like
just the one.
multiple
It's
games.
just a remake
Okay.
of one. Yeah, because they're gonna come out with
Crazy. We just keep reinventing the wheel.
they're gonna come out with a brand new Tomb Raider sometime next year.
Oh, they're probably trying to hype it.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
I do like the Tomb Raider games that came out like 10 years ago. Whenever the
Oh, the
more than
remakes?
10 years ago. Yeah, the
The reboots.
No, like
Those are fun.
the revival games. I don't know
Yeah.
what to call
Yeah,
them.
The
Rise
more
of the
realistic
Tomb
in the
Raider,
canon of-
Tomb Raider, those are fun. I like those.
Those games were really. I only played the first one thoroughly. I didn't play much of the second one, but like I don't know. I played that around the first game I played around the time I'd played The Last of Us, and I felt like very in the mood, and it was a nice transition game to play something kind of similar type of gameplay, like the action,
Yeah.
and more
A little
RPG
bit
kind
more
of stuff.
actiony.
Yeah, and
not
it
less of
wasn't
a
like
tear
sad.
jerker. Yeah.
It wasn't
You're not
sad
gonna feel
like
bad about
Last
everything.
of Us. Yeah, I'm not gonna feel espresso
Oh.
depresso every step of the way.
There's a great
So
story
it was a
I
good
heard.
transition game. Yeah.
There's a good story I heard about Troy Baker and Ashley Johnson. That shortly after the first game, right before the second game, he got a tattoo on his right wrist that said "I swear," and I actually got one that said "Okay." I was like, "Oh." Do you remember those are the last lines in the first game? Because when they get back from the hospital, taking out the fireflies, she goes like, "Swear to me that everything you told me about the fireflies was true." And he's like, lies straight to her face, says, "I swear," and she just has that look and goes, "Okay," and cuts the black. I'm like,
That
and I'm
is
so happy they did. I'm so
just
happy
gonna
they
cry,
did that in the
guys.
TV show. I'm so happy they did that shot for shot in the show.
Just gonna go start weeping.
Well, let's roll
I really want to
into.
replay them.
Oh, here's another thing that they popped up that like here's a big shocker they're coming back with the Stuntman series.
Yes.
So at first I saw like Fast and Furious. I was like,
Stuntman,
oh,
I'm
they're
not
gonna make a Fast
familiar.
and Furious game. And then all of a sudden it turned into Miami Vice. I'm like, what? And then it was
What's
Knight
going
Rider,
on?
and it was Death Race. And then I'm like, the DeLorean. I'm like, you put a DeLorean in a game, I'm gonna buy it. And then like a Stuntman comes out, I'm like, Stuntman. Okay, we're gonna have Stuntman with actual license
Cool.
stuff.
I'm not familiar with that. Cool.
So Stuntman was a PS2 game. So basically it was you were a stuntman doing stunts in a movie. Like it was a racing game, but you
like,
had the
it
director in
had
your ear.
some
It's like,
plot guidance with this concept.
yeah, there's like here's some like arrows on the street. So it's like, oh yeah, you gotta make a hard turn here, make a hard turn here, drive through the flaming tires, drive through this, do a big jump. They basically had to do these courses, do them as quickly as possible, but also as stylish as possible. So yeah, they're gonna have one with Hollywood stuff, which looks pretty cool.
And then I was looking at this before we went live. Want to make sure I'm getting it right. Oh yeah, it is. Castlevania Belmont's Curse.
Yep.
Oh,
New 2D Castlevania.
So
that's pretty cool.
That one looks
That's
really,
cool.
really solid. It looks like we're going back to like more of a Symphony of the Night style game. But I was telling Johnny this. It looks like with the dodges and everything that are in there, I'm feeling a whole lot of Souls-like kind of feel to it when I'm seeing those things.
Probably a marriage of the two.
Yeah.
Because you see a lot of that in games like Hollow Knight. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but that's what it looks like.
Well, they're
to
probably
me.
doing that. They're probably copying the formula. Yeah. Returning to the roots and adding some.
Yeah. We also got, I guess, it's not under Supermassive Games, it's under a different company, but I guess we're getting a sequel to Until Dawn. That's kind
I'm curious. Is this a direct sequel, or are we just taking the name?
I
my
think
one big
particularly, well,
question.
I mean, like the main the guy who was the psychiatrist in the first game.
Yeah. That actor, no. I'm thinking of the Dark Pictures games. The actor who did the curator in Dark Pictures passed away, I believe, in the last couple of years, but not the psychiatrist from.
No, I never finished Until Dawn, but that's the guy who
what
was the psychiatrist in Until Dawn. Oh my god. He was so fucking good.
Did you? Okay, question. Two things. Did you play The Quarry? Did you play that?
I've seen someone else play it.
No. Until Dawn was the only Dark Pictures I played. I haven't played.
That's not even Dark Pictures. That's pre.
Yeah, pre.
Okay,
yeah. Supermassive.
Okay, you guys are killing me because these are like my favorite games in the world. Finish it. Restart. Play it with Dana. You like spooky. Play with her. It'll be more fun.
That's gonna be a little hard with a kid.
Yeah. You're gonna scream and yell.
We all go to bed.
Do it
after her bedtime.
Okay. Well, guess what? Whatever.
We have to carve some time out.
Anyway.
Okay. Tell you what.
Okay,
you finish the Quiet Man.
The Quarry is better.
And I'll do that.
Okay.
You play the Quiet Man.
The Quarry is better.
Of course it is.
Anyway, a side note, I'm getting real internet
Yay!
to
Hell
do these
yeah.
things. But here's the thing. Okay, so I'm getting fiber to my. Okay, I'll give the TLDR. They blew me off in my first appointment. They called me 2 hours. They called me at 7 p.m. on a Saturday and be like, "Sorry, we missed you." And I was like,
Been home the
"Your
whole day.
window was from 2 to 5. You could have called me sooner." So I was pissed. I rescheduled the next Saturday when I was very busy. They came at 8 in the morning, the earliest possible slot, which is fine. They didn't leave until noon. They hooked all the shit up in my house. But there is fiber running on my side of the street. I live in bumblefuck middle of nowhere. Well, not quite exactly middle of nowhere, but we have fiber.
Close.
It's not that middle of nowhere. But there's just a couple of houses on my side of the street. And they're like, "Oh yeah, the guy had to go yell his company, being like, what the fuck?" Because there's a line that is dead that's a matter of like kind of like flipping a switch or having another technician go out and like do something to get to the main.
God damn it.
So they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to reschedule to go get large heavy equipment in a cribbing bucket to take the line from across the fucking street and bring it to your house. But we won't flip the switch. We won't have the easy serviceman that does field work make the connection that's installed on your side of the street work."
Yeah, I
That
think
sounds
we're
about
getting
right.
screwed over where I am too, because we live near an airport,
pretty
and I
pissed.
think that makes them nervous about putting like fiber lines in the area, because they may have to deal with
I
like
can't do aerial.
regulation.
That'll be a lot. They'd have to do underground, which costs more money.
Yeah, they will have to do underground. Well, fuck them. I want
Having an
it.
adjacent professional career with these things, I know too much. They'd have to do underground. It costs way more to bore and do it right than doing a hanging wire line
They
around an
suck.
airport
I
where
want
that's
it.
an issue. But anyway, so I'm getting real internet. Back to the real thing. So Until Dawn,
Mhm.
the psychiatrist guy,
Yeah.
he does a lot of like he's one of those actors that like you've seen him in things but you don't really know what he's been in. Like you're like, "Oh, I know that guy. He's been in enough roles on TV or like little tiny roles in movies." But I believe for the Until Dawn movie that came out last May, I liked that movie. I
I'm
don't
pretty
like
sure he's in
calling it
that.
Until Dawn. But he does play the psychiatrist in the
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, I've
I
got to see
believe
it
it's the
then.
same guy. The Until Dawn movie is very fun. It's very graphic in the best way possible. It translates well to a movie. I just don't like calling it Until Dawn, but Sony Pictures wouldn't have made money if they didn't call it that. But it's the essence of these games, but it's a
Right.
very different story with inspiration from Until Dawn, if that.
Hmm.
So I did like the
Gotcha.
movie. It was fun. It was a fun movie. It's pretty gross at times, but that's the point.
All right. Well,
Okay, sorry.
let's
That was
move
my
on
side
so we can
tangent.
fit everything in, because we got a good bunch.
Yep.
We got to get to the big controversial one. It shouldn't be controversial, but it is. The new God of War.
What are you talking about?
I didn't watch the trailer, so I'm not sure how to pronounce that at the end.
Oh,
It didn't even they didn't even say it in the
Oh.
trailer, but I think it's pronounced Laufey
Well,
because
It's-
it's sort of like
Laufey?
Fey.
it's a new God of War, and it looks like Kratos is not the main protagonist, is a female protagonist, and has apparently made the internet lose
we
their
hate
minds.
women.
Oh my god.
We hate women. This game, let it burn in hell. Just kidding. We love women.
Well, it's burning in Valhalla because you know what happened. I first got super scared that it was a remaster of God of War 4 / God of War 2016 or 2018, whenever it came out.
Right.
Because it began with like the burning of Faye.
Oh,
I
that
was
was like
no, don't do this again. And then I saw her come out and I was like, oh, thank God it's not a remake. It's something new.
we're just gonna objectify the hot Medusas, from the start. It's hating women in this latest game. That's the gamer logic.
I mean, I'll never understand it, honestly. Like, excuse me. Horizon Zero Dawn is one of PlayStation's biggest hits. Female protagonist. Aloy is a badass. I don't understand.
Oh, she's cute.
I'll
And
never
she like looks kind
understand.
of adjacent to that like Nordic design with like her little brains and like all red hair.
So
Looks adjacent to the
I
people.
think people are just like, oh, the protagonist is a woman. I'm like, what if I say I hate women? I'll find other people that said they hate women too and give me super chats and money.
Man, we're just gonna rage
What?
bait because we hate women.
No, nobody would ever do that.
You know, Patrick. Yeah,
A high percentage of
Patrick,
it
you're
is
talking
people that rage
about. Hold on, I'm just gonna be real, Patrick. You were like commenting before we went live, like, "Oh, I could have named the title of this episode better. You should have just named it "We Hate Women," and everyone will watch." I don't know what you weren't. You dropped the ball on this one.
I totally complained about women a moment ago as I slowly turned my baseball cap backwards.
I don't think he wears it backwards anymore.
Not anymore. But
No
he used
more.
to. By the way, join our Patreon. Join it. We haven't scheduled it yet, but it's coming. And I'm telling you, you'll want to be
It's in the
there.
works.
Tea will be spilled.
So much.
All right, let's move on.
Scalding hot tea.
Scalding hot. The next one was Xbox that, in my opinion, from everything I read...
Sorry. Next was Summer Game Fest.
Oh, the Summer Game Fest was next.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Yep, the Keighley hosted awards.
Oh, no.
Which, man, they started off strong. They started off strong with Code Veronica remake.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I think
I
after
saw
this,
that.
like,
I'm pretty jacked.
all of the Resident Evil games will have been officially remade.
Wait, what about
Except
the
for
Outbreak games? Bring them back.
Oh, my God.
Multiplayer. Can we bring them back, both a modern twist, please? Because I never got to play them, and I feel like I would enjoy it. I don't play multiplayer games. I would give it a stab if it was like a digital only kind of. What if they did PlayStation Plus? Come on, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, sorry.
I mean, I wouldn't complain. Also, I'm seeing on here, and I heard plenty about this because I was just scrolling through socials, and Johnny was having a meltdown. I think he almost had a heart attack right then and there. So we're getting the next part of Final Fantasy VII Revelation.
No, that wasn't what I melted down about. That was Year 4 Street Fighter 6, where it's just like, hey,
that too.
Yasmin, and I was like, hey, this seems kind of cool. Then all of a sudden, Beat Rush, Uppercut, Tifa. Ah!
Oh, that new. I saw people were freaking
Yeah, that was
out.
nuts.
Maximilian's screen
I didn't
permutated the
expect that.
universe.
Like ever. So that's actually, never mind. We don't hate women anymore because Tifa representation.
Exactly. It's like, oh my
No,
god.
if we're gonna like a woman,
Tifa
we're gonna
Lockhart.
like the coolest of them.
Yeah.
So, no comment about maybe how she looks in this matter. She's just so cool, you guys.
Well, we don't see
We
anything
love
because all the announcement trailer was just a teaser with anime. Because last year when they announced Year 4, it was Kenny Omega in cosplay, showing off Sagat, Ingrid. Oh, my brain, Elena, right? Oh, my brain. Who were the characters? And Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he also did the mocap for Alex.
Yeah, I was going to say Alice was the main one.
Yeah. But no, after that, the big thing was to also FF7 Revelation, the final part.
Yeah.
And man, I thought it was just going to be a teaser, but they showed so much. They showed Vincent's attack style, Sid's attack style, how the high wind is going to work. The fight is you can't land the high wind wherever you want. You just leap out you're off the fucking battle bus and you're parachuting
That's so cool.
The world. And I'm like, every time I'm looking at this, I was like, okay, we're parachuting down. I was like, can we get Tifa and Cloud into Fortnite and maybe Max will finally play Fortnite?
Stop. That's funny.
We've got full-fledged Wu Tai, the Happy Turtle I
Some
saw in
Wukong,
there.
Wu Chang 2. Is that what you said?
No,
Wu Chang 2?
Wu Tai. No, the full Wu Tai. Yuffie's hometown.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize.
Yes. No.
After she steals all
to
the
my
material.
credit,
Get me canceled.
to my credit, being a dumb kid who couldn't recruit Yuffie, don't blame me. Don't at me, okay?
Yeah.
I thought you were announcing more things.
Yeah, and thank you, word in the chat. I forgot about this. So like, we're gonna have like, there's gonna be a job system. Like, people are gonna have like outfits to change their jobs. So like, they showed Tifa being
Are we
a
doing
mage.
some 10-2 action? I'm all for it.
Kate Sith is gonna. It has a summoner job. Like
That's
it's
fucking
gonna be
nuts.
nuts. Like it's so nuts. Like
Yeah,
I still
nuts.
can't wait for this.
It's like they tapped into like OG Final Fantasy and just threw it into this because why the hell not?
Yeah. Just to
Okay.
give people something extra. I'm like, oh, I still can't wait.
No,
like,
no complaints here. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not crying about that.
I'm
So
trying to
that's
see what else
badass.
Game Fest that they announced. Like I said, the devs at Cuphead, they're making a new 2D hand-drawn game.
Oh, I'm all for it.
And also they're making a 8-bit version of Cuphead for modern consoles, and also apparently physically on the Master System.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
a
I saw
Master
that.
I saw that. People were like, what?
Well,
What are you doing?
you know who has a working Master System?
There you go.
Not I.
It depends on how
Sorry,
much
Jackie
they want
was
for that
nearby
game.
and I had to scoop her. Jackie. Go girl.
What else? Oh, Platinum Games is making another digital game. This one based on The Last Ronin. That might be cool.
I think
I know
that's
people
gonna be
shadow
awesome.
people shout over Mutants in Manhattan. I don't know. I had a fun time playing with Woody and Word online on Xbox. I thought it was cool. But you know, I'm easy to please when it comes to turtle games. You have to fuck up really hard to make a bad turtle game, in my opinion.
I don't think I've played that one.
They have a good track record in general, like the Turtles games. I'd say they're generally good.
Yeah.
Nope, I have not played that
the
one.
game's kind of
Okay. Now we're on the Xbox. So
Yeah, let's
Mhm.
hop on
Much
over
to
to the
go on
Xbox.
yeah. Not a
Let's
whole
go.
lot, because it's just stuff that we've seen before. There were a few good surprises. Like apparently, like Halo Campaign Evolved is coming out next month.
Hell yeah.
That's pretty cool. There's like a few missions that are kind of prequel with the Master Chief and Sergeant Johnson before Chief gets frozen and before you beat him on the Pillar of Autumn and Reach. So that might be cool. I'm a slut for Halo. I'll play anything Halo. So I'm playing this. It'll be me and the wife and whoever else wants to join us in co-op. We'll go through the campaign together.
I mean,
We got
that's quite
info
the
on
mission,
Gears
but
of War.
okay.
Gears E-Day. Finally, I've seen some stuff about E-Day. And what was kind of funny, I was watching the gameplay trailer and I saw that who was ever controlling Marcus was like shooting at random stuff to like knock it over or like blow up some gas or shoot some glass out or something. I'm like, the whole time I'm looking at this, I'm like, are you trying to make Croby Cat pissed off? Are you trying to make him make a video where it's just like, oh man, they finally let me destroy stuff in Gears again, you know, stuff that has nothing to do with gameplay, it's just cosmetic stuff. It's so funny how like the internet has so turned on Croby Cat over the years. It's just like, stop ruining games by telling us all the stuff they took out.
I wish I knew who you were talking about.
Oh,
I
okay,
have
so
no idea who that is.
so Croby Cat's this creator who back in the day he would make like really interesting videos. Like he would make super cuts of stuff that happened at E3. I think one of his most popular ones was like clipping together all the people that said Evolve was going to be like the hot shit, and then it gave the people that were complaining about it. With a lot of Angry Joe clips. There was the one about the Ouya and like the
God.
people unboxing it and playing it.
God.
And the Screw Attack guy showed up on that because they ended up getting an Ouya and unboxed it. Yeah, so a bunch of videos like that. But like over the last couple of years, he's been making a bunch of videos where it was just like, oh man, like what a downgrade Dead Rising remaster is from the original Dead Rising. And I think all his complaints were like the Havoc physics engine won't just throw random stuff on the ground and react with stuff. It's like stuff that has nothing to do with actual gameplay. It's just all like pretty cosmetics and stuff like that. Yeah. I think he did that too with like comparing Gears of War 1 to Gears of War 5. It's like in Gears of War 1, I could shoot down this pillar and all the stuff would break off of it. Now I shoot a few times and there's just maybe one bullet hole.
Who cares?
And I'm like, it's like, do you really realize that like maybe they took all of that out because it was bogging down the frame rate?
Gears 5 is infinitely better than Gears 1.
Yeah, well,
I know.
because you can't shoot a pillar out. That's probably why.
No. I just think like I didn't play Gears 5, and it's been like fucking forever since I played Gears 1. But like, I think like attention to detail or flourish, it is something that you're describing that is sadly lost with a lot of future iterations of certain games or series. That's a whole other topic to talk about. But I don't know. That's my first thought that came to mind when you're describing that. That's all.
Moving forward, because we are cutting it a little close on time, so
we're crunching.
Yeah, we got Nintendo to go through. So Atlas showed off Persona 4.
Yeah, I already pre-ordered the big box collectors. Okay, that's all you need to know.
They teased Persona 6.
Okay, that's all.
We're getting DLC for Dune: The Dark Ages. Looks incredible.
Yeah. Fable. I got to see some of the redesigned gameplay and everything they were showing there, and I got to tell you, I'm now a believer. I wasn't sure.
Okay, this might be talking about my ass because I haven't seen trailers, because like they only show like maybe 2 minutes of something a year, and I don't think there's been gameplay shown. I think it's just been concept and cutscenes.
Well, they were showing some combat in the video I just watched. It wasn't much, but I saw it, and it looked good. So I don't know if maybe like I was watching something else, but I'll just put it this way. There is
gameplay demo out there. Okay.
So what I saw looked really good, and I wasn't too optimistic with this.
No,
because they kept it very close to the chest. They announced it. Here we are, 2026. We're going into there. They announced it 6 years ago? 6 years ago they announced this game. And finally we're getting something, and I don't know, they were like anti Peter Molyneuxing this thing by promising jack shit and giving us the exact amount of that. Finally we're getting something, and I gotta say, I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I just hope there's an actual boss fight with the actual final boss, and not just like hold A and then pull the trigger or let someone kill it.
Stuff.
And real quickly on Xbox, quickly on Xbox, they showed off Crazy Taxi revamp. Looks cool. Can't wait. Offspring played. I'm happy.
Those are fun times.
Let's get to what matters.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Okay, Patrick.
The Direct.
Take the throne.
Yep.
Do we start with best first? Because I did look. I watched it. I skimmed through it. I wasn't able to watch the entire thing because I think I was at work when it happened, but I was able to skim through some of it.
Yeah.
Should we start with the best first?
Sure.
So we can just blow our tops.
And if you're wrong, you're fired.
I'll say it before you then.
If you're wrong,
Kingdom
you're fired.
Hearts 4, let's go. I'm kidding. Ocarina of Time remake.
Yes.
It's such a tease, and we're getting it this year. Like, it's gonna be awesome.
What about that
excited.
new Fire Emblem Weave or whatever with Alucard? He looks like Alucard in it. I'm so jacked. You don't even know. I want to play this so bad. Anyway, I'm trying to keep it short. I cannot contain my excitement for Persona 6. And
they've also
Persona
seemed
4
to be like this. Also seemed to be the
Fire Emblem.
Hey, this is like the Xenoblade. Yeah, because we're getting 1, 2, and 3 Switch 2 editions, plus a new game called Genesis.
Yes.
Bro,
so if you're
fuck yeah.
If you're a Xenoblade fan, you're eating good. If you're a Xenoblade fan, especially
I was like, I was pretty jacked.
Yeah,
RPG fans, rejoice.
Yeah. But then again, in Europe, it's going to be called Xenoblade Mega Drive. I did the obligatory second joke.
It's funny.
We're getting a network test for Dust Bloods. Just finally news on the new FromSoft game for the Switch.
Star Fox in like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
I
played the demo. They announced the demo during the Direct. I played it.
I didn't look at a lot of it, but like it looks like Star Fox from Mario 2 movie. I did see the Mario 2 movie recently, like a month ago. It was so fun.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't talk about that right now. But I'm like, they totally timed this.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
The demo was fun. I played it a bit there. It controls smooth on the Switch controller.
I'm like debating to get it or not because I haven't played a Star Fox game in forever because there's not that many, and it looks so good. It looks so good, but I'm like, is it worth the price tag? Because Star Fox is not a long game. These are not long games. So I'm like, do I just wait until I can find it for like $40 top?
I mean, they promised additional modes. I don't know if those additional modes are going to, justify the price that they're offering or demanding.
There's gonna be like There's gonna be like online multiplayer modes. There's also that basically turn you into a VTuber mode if you use the game chat and camera. Yeah, you can move your head around like Fox.
Surely we all want to get in the game and be Slippy, right?
That's actually cute.
Yeah.
I want to get in the game and be Slippy.
Which, I played that demo mission, Meteor. He was not annoying. I was shocked.
Oh.
He's annoying in the goddamn training mode, but because like he purposely runs into your R wing and breaks a wing. He's like, "Oops,
and
sorry,
like,
my bad."
What a little bitch.
Yeah. So yeah, interesting too. So like Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3, the Clouds versions got delisted that day because they're going to release them as proper games that actually run without input lag on the Switch 2 in October.
So many sales of the cloud version where I'm like, but then I'll do my research on Reddit and people are like, these things run like ass. Don't do it. Yeah. So I'm just like, no. So I was legitimately happy to hear that this is happening. This way we get like a true mobile way to play it. If you don't have a Steam Deck, because we're gonna hear about that shit. I play Nintendo. I want 1, 2, and 3 on Switch 2, which is what I'm getting. So I'm happy. And then, holy snap, they also bring out Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah. Released at the same time as the other consoles, which I think is awesome. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot to point out too with Revelations, Final Fantasy VII Revelation. Not a Sony exclusive for a year and a half. It's coming to everything day and day in spring 2027. So, like, simultaneous release. PC, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch 2.
Oh, that's
coming
nice.
on everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. That's cool.
Cool.
That's good.
And before we go, Red also mentioned a new 2D HD Final Fantasy game. That's a turn-based RPG, like sprite-based in the 2D HD style, like Dragon Quest and Octopath Traveler. Apparently, you can summon people from other Final Fantasy games to help you, like Cloud and Terra.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's
okay.
Cute. That's cute.
Yeah, I am so stoked for that.
Well, I guess the last thing you've got listed here, and that's the last thing I would definitely want to talk about, because I want to get everybody else's opinion on this and see how we feel about the Nintendo Sports Resort game. Because
I want it for cheap.
I have mixed opinions.
Yeah.
I have very mixed
I
opinions.
do like those games. They are fun. They are really fun.
Wii Sports Resort was fucking awesome. Loved it. Would play it all the time. If I had more time, I'd be playing it now. I love Wii Sports Resort. Wii Sports was really good. Nintendo Sports on Switch was ass. And I paid full price for that shit. It felt so not Nintendo. They didn't support it.
It seemed fun for like the first 2 weeks of live streamers and Let's Players, and that was it.
It's so
like
weird
that one of those games.
It seemed
During
almost
COVID.
like they were embarrassed by Mii's. Like the Mii's were like second-class citizens in that, where you couldn't use it.
Oh.
I mean, you would
I'm
have
so
to.
glad Tomodachi Life has exploded the interest in Mii's, by the way. Because the Mii's were so charming, and they had them on the 3DS, and that once the fucking Switch came out, like that shit got dropped so hard. I agree with that sentiment of Nintendo being embarrassed about Mii's, but like that's what makes.
Well, here's where the weirdness continues, though. So, yeah, I'm with you through Tomodachi Life and Miitopia. Clearly, they're getting back on the bandwagon with Mii's, but here comes Nintendo Sports Resort, and they're embarrassed by them again. They're gone. I assume you can go in there and choose them, but they won't be the default choice. They weren't the default choice in that trailer, and I don't know. I just don't think, like, if they come out and say this is $50, hell no. They just
It's a really bad like rebrand of one of their properties that is so overwhelmingly loved. Like, I don't know. It's kind of insulting to the original games, not including these, which was pivotal. And also, think about the nostalgia factor, because we're at a point now. The Wii's been out for 20 years, right?
Yes.
And like all the people that played those as children are now grown as adults, and like the nostalgia cycle comes back again. And think about the sales that you were missing, Nintendo, because now the kids the Wii babies, the Wii generation, we're past GameCube generation. They're grown ass fucking 25-year-olds, okay?
That's
and
true.
up. The Wii generation are the youth with the spending money and recreation time to buy shit on the Switch and Switch 2. So it feels like a very missed opportunity, given that the nostalgia for the Wii is hitting hard now.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm not quite sure why they keep getting away from it, putting the gas on, and then getting away from it again. I don't understand that. And
I wonder if there's
I don't
like
think I'm going to
confusion
understand
with
that.
like the Wii U era switching and then going to the Switch, with like marketing and all sorts of confusion that led to like failure with Wii U and like potential association with that kind of thing. That's like something I'm wondering. I don't know.
And it's a real thing, because my mother had a Wii and had I want to say it was like Glee Karaoke Revolution or something, some type of singing game.
Yeah, one of
She
those
wanted a
games.
microphone for it, and she bought a Wii U Sing microphone, and I said, this is not going to work. You need to get something specific for the Wii, not the Wii U. She's like, I thought it was the same. It was like, nope.
No.
Oh, poor
Nope.
mom.
That sucks.
Oh, bummer.
Wrap this up. I guess we can go around our little triangle table and say, who do you think, in quotes, won this year?
If I'm being honest, Sony.
Sega. Sorry, this cat is never on air, and he doesn't like being held, but I just wanted to show off Mr. Claude.
Nice.
He just
Hello, Mr.
happened to
Claude.
be easy to scoop. Sir?
You know,
I was gonna say Sony, just because like the God of War reveal was pretty big. I think like as far as like
Oh, we hate women. Last place.
last place.
When I think about Nintendo and their first party offerings right now, like all they have is Splatoon Raiders, which I'm sure would be fine for Splatoon fans. I didn't see any real. I don't really have any real interest in that. The only thing they really announced big was Ocarina of Time remake. That like it's like that could be wrong. Third party support on the Switch is big. Like it's huge right now. Like I told my wife, she didn't even realize this too. Rise of the Tomb Raider got shadow dropped on the Switch too. Like during the direct, I was looking, I was like, oh, Rise of the Tomb Raider out today. Like, damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
That's great.
Kind of a big deal.
Xbox, not really, because it was shit we already knew about, and it was just, just updates to stuff we already knew about. There's some hidden gems, obviously.
They did what we would like to call a check-in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey,
we
here.
have a pulse.
I know we have new leadership.
We want your money.
Yeah.
We're suffering.
We promise we're done with Sony. I swear. I couldn't back out on half this
Please
stuff.
give us money. Please, we're begging you.
I know this will be a big. I don't want to bring it up because it'll be a tangent, but like the whole have you seen like the discourse on Twitter about people screaming about like, how come we're going back to exclusives? It's like, bitch, like you were getting games for only a year from Microsoft. We had a year of non-exclusivity. Now we're going back to exclusivity. It's literally has been in existence since 1983.
Exclusives have been around for decades.
Yeah, 1 year of Xbox being nice to you, and all we got in return was Helldivers 2. Yeah, I think we're okay.
Yep.
I think we're okay to go back to exclusives.
It's fine. Exclusives have always been a thing. It's not like anyone's going to suffer. Sony's going to be fine. Xbox had exclusives for the past decade, didn't help them any, so maybe they'll go back to the drawing board and try to do something.
Let's go sell our shit and make money with what we can.
Yeah, like I was saying, like
I mean, it makes sense as a business decision.
And when I yelled on Disorder 2, it's like no one bats an eye when you don't see Mario on Xbox or PlayStation. Legitimately, anyway. Emulation.
It would be insane.
On me. I will say so. As far as like a company goes, I think Sony kind of inched by a little bit compared to Nintendo and Xbox. But overall, everyone won because like there's something for
RPG
everyone
fans won.
Everywhere. Oh hell
Can I
yeah!
be real?
Yeah.
RPGs.
Okay. That's a good answer.
Slam dunked it.
A Tales of remake, Xenoblade, Switch 2 editions.
Yeah, I forgot about the Tales of
Persona, Final Fantasy.
I'm gonna cry about Persona. Oh my god, you guys! I'm so excited.
I wish there was more info on Dragon Quest 12, but they had to do a Metroid Prime 4 and scrap the whole thing they were working on and start over. So it's gonna be a while before we get more Dragon Quest stuff. Oh, there's Dragon Quest monsters. I guess we still have some Dragon Quest content coming out.
Well, I guess that leaves me as the final one, and I'm perfectly fine with that. I mean, I came on here wearing a Kirby hat, and I'm wearing a Mario's shirt. So, guys, what do you think I'm gonna say?
Xbox.
I'm gonna say PlayStation, and I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding at all.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I would be stupid, in my opinion, to say Nintendo, because while the Ocarina of Time remake is a big deal,
and Fire Emblem,
and
shut up,
and all that.
Why would you disparage?
My own wife pointed out the problem the other day. Just yesterday, my own wife pointed out the problem when I was like, "Oh, Ocarina of Time remake." She's like, "You have that. It's on your 3DS." And I went, "Oh,
I know." I was gonna say, why do we need a fancy? Can we port the fucking Twilight Princess HD to the Switch 2 instead, please? Let's get out of the Wii U jail.
I think it's gonna wait to go on the GameCube NSO.
No,
I don't think they're gonna put Twilight
the
HD.
Remake version. I want the HD. Can we just fucking bring it over, please?
Yeah, they did some good work on the HD version on Wii U. That would be nice.
I didn't get a chance to beat it on the Wii U. I did the Wind Waker. That was fantastic. Just bring those over. Just bring those,
HD,
please, Nintendo.
Like, I'm going to go off on a tangent on that really quick, and then we got to wrap this one up.
Loved it.
Wind Waker HD, like, if you're trying to play Wind Waker on GameCube or you're playing Wind Waker in SO, guys, you're wasting your time. You got to play Wind Waker HD. Every screw up in that game, because there were a lot. It shows how much they just had to crunch that thing out the door. It's 1,000 times better on Wii U. I'm telling you, believe me.
And that was the only version
time.
I played was Wii U, and that game fucking blew me away. I was like, how did I pass on this when I was a kid?
Don't play the game
like when I was like a teenager. No, it fucking blew my mind.
Like, for example,
I also want the Twilight Princess HD.
I'll pass this wisdom on to you, and then we'll end. Did you ever do the trade quest to get the magic armor in Wind Waker HD? Well, that's one of the things I make sure to get when I'm going through that, because it is so powerful it almost breaks the game. Basically, you get armor where as long as you have rupees, you take no damage, because when they hit you, you just lose rupees. It's super, super strong. I think a very powerful tool to help you get through the game. Now, it works. I can't 100% remember how it works in the GameCube version, but it is like infinitely shittier. I think it's magic that it uses in that, and that goes like that versus like rupees. You can practically get rupees to the point where you're like vomiting them out as you walk in Wind Waker. So do that. All right. I think that about wraps this one up. Anybody got any thoughts or opinions before we say goodnight?
There's a lot of games coming out with a lot of genres that are going to appeal to pretty much anyone. So it's a good time to be a gamer right now. So go out and enjoy it.
Guys. I feel like 24 was pretty epic. I feel like we got an every other year. Even number years are going to have sick shit. That's kind of the mood I get.
I think it was really good. This summer had some really heavy hits in my opinion. I know, like, I've looked on social, I've looked on Reddit. All I see is negativity and people complaining and people bitching. And all I can say is, guys, are you sure you like video games anymore?
We ate well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I could say my experience on like I'm mostly on Instagram for my social media. I'm not on Twitter or Reddit like that, like I used to be. But everyone on Instagram, like all my like convention related anime and video game friends, like that sphere, like everyone is all activity. It's pretty exciting. I think it's a lot of the JRPG kind of fans too with the anime crossover. So I feel like we're very happy. I've seen just wonderful news from people overall.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna wrap it up then. That has been episode 52. Man, we are moving along with this. I can't believe it. 52 episodes. If anybody's wanting the date stamp for this one, it is June 11th, 2026. Guys, thanks so much for coming out and having a good night with us here. Remember, we are going to be having a brand new podcast on our Patreon. It is Patreon exclusive. We are trying to get a little bit of funding, so that's one thing we're offering. We are going to be talking about taboo things that we normally stray away from on this one. So if you want to hear some of the things that we allude to sometimes but never dive into, it's a perfect place to do it. And of course, there's going to be other.
Hey! This is the last time you're seeing hands for free. It's going to be on a paywall next.
Last time we want some money.
Last time.
Patreon exclusive. You want hands? Go to Patreon.
My hands.
We're also going to have other fun stuff there. Like, of course, Liz is going to be playing The Quiet Man. So if you want to see that, that's going to be there. And
with real internet.
I don't know. Maybe if there's enough people who show up and subscribe to the Patreon, I don't know. Maybe this silly little thing called YouTube Hell will show back up, since ResetPress originally did most of the YouTube Hells. We were the ones that crafted most of the
God.
OGs.
Give me preparation, because I'm all about finding cursed things on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, Hell has returned, Needless Battle Royale, plus I can't remember the title of the two that came before that. Those were all done by ResetPress, so we have the ability to do another if you want it, but you gotta subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Have a good night. Hey guys, if you enjoyed the episode and you want to support us even more, it's as easy as going over to our newly opened Patreon. That's patreon.com/ResetPress. Head over there right now for exclusive content like a brand new podcast that's coming in the future. We'll see you there.